Welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Monday, May 1st, 2023. Raila Odinga has planned with the Maandamano demonstrations. In Kenya, opposition leader Raila Odinga is calling for new protests to begin tomorrow at 6 a.m., despite the fact that the protests were shut down momentarily. President William Ruto last month stated that demonstrations became increasingly violent. Odinga said that the streets are calling us once again. Raila Odinga, who is the head of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party, stated that his supporters have rejected the outcome of the August 2022 election that put William Ruto in office, calling his Kenya Kwanza government illegitimate. The protest movement that began in March and followed Odinga's deadline for the government to address inflation and other economic concerns, which led to the talks that Ruto has asked Odinga to continue. Ruto on Friday promised to lower the cost of living for Kenyans, especially high food prices. "I am the president of Kenya," Ruto stated. "Enough is enough." A recent report stated that the riots included damage at businesses, police cars being torched, and fires intentionally set both at masjids and churches. Those in Kenya, let us know if you plan on going ahead with the demonstrations, if you plan on being in there, and anybody with footage for tomorrow or even a live feed, we'd love to give a live feed to our viewers here at Kush News. Reach on out to us. Let's go to North Africa. In Egypt, Egyptian Minister of Supply and Internal Trade, Ali Al-Moalesi, announced that there is a strategic reserve of basic commodities that will last up until the beginning of July. During a press conference on last weekend, the Minister of Supply and Internal Trade dedicated that import operations will continue in parallel with the local supply of wheat. Higher supply rates have been achieved so far compared to last year. The ministers added that the total area accumulated with wheat reached over 3.2 million acres during the current year, pointing out that the average productivity of an acre is around, which represents about 2.7 tons. He also stressed that the ministry's role is to maintain the general balance in the market, pointing out that the ministry imported about 110,000 tons of yellow corn. The minister also touched on the ministry's import of about 25,000 tons of frozen poultry, supplying it and putting it in outlets. Those in Egypt, let us know on if you are concerned at all, or what your thoughts are on the strategic balance and rations of supplies, especially wheat, before the month of July. Let's go to the Caribbean, where Guyana's police force is to set up a new unit. Several changes are coming for the Guyana police force. One that will be a new aviation unit. The acting commissioner of police, Clifton Hicken, revealed that the unit will be more towards aviation. Guyana's Department of Public Information reported that Hicken told the officers gathered that this will bring us on par with our counterparts in the Caribbean region. Deputy Commissioner for Police of Administration Calvin Brutus revealed that 2 police officers completed a pilot training program outside of the country, and other ranks are pursuing degrees in aeronautical engineering. Meanwhile, a number of police stations across Guyana will be upgraded to bring them in line with the needs of modern-day crime fighting. A quote from the spokesperson of the local police stated that the continuous reconstruction and rehabilitation that is taking place at the police stations will see them now equipped with more modern amenities to meet international best practices, with safe ID parade rooms, ramps for persons living with disabilities, to say the least. Those in Guyana, let us know your thoughts on the police getting upgraded, and let us know on how you feel about that. Let's stay in the Caribbean and end it here. The chairman of the Dr. Eric Williams Memorial Committee, Reginald Vidale, is calling for the founding fathers of CARICOM, the Caribbean community, to be awarded the highest Caribbean award. celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, which is the location of the birthplace of the CARICOM, aka the Caribbean Community. The Order of the Caribbean Community is an award given to Caribbean nationals whose legacy in the economic, political, social, and cultural metaphors of the Caribbean society is phenomenal. The award is initiated at the 8th Conference of Heads of State and Governments. The addressing of the wreath-laying ceremony marking the 42nd anniversary of the death of Trinidad and Tobago's first prime minister. Vidal said that the award should also be given to former leaders of Barbados, Guyana, and Jamaica. He said that they were the reasons why CARICOM came into being and that they should be recognized throughout the Caribbean. CARICOM came into being on July 4th, 1973 with the signing of the Treaty of the Chaguaramas by Prime Minister Errol Barrow of Barbados, Forbes Burnham of Guyana, and Michael Manley of Jamaica, and also Eric Williams of Trinidad and Tobago. CARICOM came into effect on August 1st in 1973, and subsequently the other 8 Caribbean territories also joined. The Bahamas became the 13th member, and Suriname became the 14th member. Haiti became the first French-speaking Caribbean state to become a full member back in July of 2002. Again, that was July of 2002. Vidal said that the recently held regional synopsis on crime, which was attended by several Caribbean leaders, underscored the Founding Fathers' vision for unity in dealing with matters affecting the entire Caribbean. He said that this is what they would have wanted for the Caribbean integration movement. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has called for Trinidad and Tobago to become a full member of the Caribbean Court of Justice that was established back in 2001 to replace the Privy Council that is England-based as the region's final court. Other Caribbean countries, he said, are one by one joining the Caribbean Court of Justice, because even some who are apprehensive have seen the value. But we believe that is because a few well-moneyed people can go to the Privy Council once in a while on matters that they choose. Despite the Caribbean Court of Justice being headquartered in Trinidad and Tobago, it has only joined the original jurisdiction. It acts as an international tribunal interpreting the revised treaty. Barbados, Dominica, Guyana, Belize are the only 4 CARICOM Caribbean countries that are full members of the Caribbean Court of Justice that has both an original and appellate jurisdiction. Those in the Caribbean all over, congratulations. You guys got an upcoming treat, especially honoring the founding members of the CARICOM, the Caribbean community. Kush News recognizes that. We end today's broadcast with the African proverb of the day, and it comes to us from no particular nation and or ethnic group, and it reads, I know I am no better than anyone else. Once again, I know I am no better than anyone else. Well, let me tell you something. We know that Kush News is the best newscast out there. Once again, we know that Kush News is the best newscast out there. So I don't know if this proverb applies to us necessarily. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for today and any other time that we upload material. Also, feel free to follow us on Twitter. That's right. Follow us on Twitter this weekend. That's right. This Saturday, we are having our first Twitter space to talk about the top stories that had happened during the week. Again, this Saturday. So follow us on Twitter at Kush_News1. And yeah, get in the conversation with us. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your guys' opinions. And we'll be doing that every single weekend. That's right. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.